First, let's get to those questions about how the city handled traffic issues during Mexican Independence Day celebrations over the weekend. Mayor Johnson says the plan managed the car caravans roaming through downtown, but if you talk to some neighbors, they say the plan ended up preventing them from getting home. NBC5's Christian Farr explains.
We have to solve this problem. It's happened last year. It happened the year before.
Second Ward Alderman Hopkins has an issue with how Chicago police officers handled checkpoints during this weekend's Mexican Independence Day celebrations. Hopkins says those checkpoints set up to allow access to residents and employees who work in the Streeterville area failed more than once. Hopkins says between his office and at least 4 other wards, they received hundreds of complaint calls.
You have to have police officers that are willing to make those allowances to let the residents through. And in far too many cases, they simply weren't allowing residents to pass through.
Hopkins says throughout the weekend, police implemented random street closures to try and stay ahead of those attempting to celebrate in the street. In one case, Hopkins says a resident just gave up trying to get home.
We did have a resident who tried several checkpoints and couldn't get through and just gave up and slept in his car. You know, that's just unacceptable.
It's clear we have turned the page from how these celebrations have occurred before.
Yesterday, Mayor Johnson said that the city put forth better safety measures that, in his words, provided a safe, vibrant celebration. While Hopkins has issues about the checkpoints for his residents, he does agree that CPD handled security much better than in years past.
I give them an A when it comes to managing what's essentially an unmanageable situation.
Alderman Hopkins says in their effort to control those car caravans, they ended up pushing them onto the Stevenson, where a party happened in the street. He says they have to do a better job in the future to keep that from happening.
It isn't something you can solve overnight, but we're going to be looking at this with an eye towards next year.
At City Hall, Christian Farr, NBC5 News.
Thanks to Christian.